Oh, are we being recorded? Oh, yes. Okay. Right.
To call to order the town board. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Here.
Trustee Frierson? Trustee Fisher?
Here.
Trustee Holmes?
Here.
Chairman Neal?
Here. Mr. Bremner, would you honor us with leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Please join me in pledging allegiance to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Are there any agenda changes this evening? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, discussion. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 5, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held on August 16, 2022 at 6 o'clock p.m. Just a thank you to Ms. Sonalita Bronson for filling in as our deputy clerk.
Make the motion to approve. Minutes.
Second.
Second, any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 6, are there any citizens' comments? No. Thank you, Mr. Bremer, for the 2 articles you brought in to me about Monarch Fairfax. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We'll move right on to item 7, authorized bills for payment for July. Trustee Fisher.
Yes, let's see, it was just yesterday, wasn't it? We had we did a review of the financials for the month, and I asked approval of payment on total bills of $92,960.08.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion second, any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 8, discussion regarding,
Word, ma'am.
yes, sir.
Not July. Where's August? This is September.
So could we make a correction on that?
Yes, it is for August.
Wow.
Whoops. Yeah, you missed that one.
You win the prize tonight. We were just seeing if
Thank you.
anybody would catch that. You win.
It's always good to have another pair of eyes.
Okay, do we need to
No.
like do an updated motion or can that be for August?
I'll just make it. for all.
Make the correction on the,
Okay, great, on the
yeah.
agenda.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Bremner. Always keeping us in line. Okay, now moving on to item 8, discussion regarding property donation request. Just to update everybody, I spoke with the Park District, spoke with Carol, and let her know that it's really not in the best interest of any of us to try and take on that property. But we do have Barbara Price, who came and visited and wanted to do the community garden. She is desperately interested in that property. And so I had a long talk with Barbara, letting her know some other things she would have to take care of. And she's going to have a conversation with Harold, and hopefully that can work out and she can make that into another community garden. So it's Barbara's hope or intention to create a non-for-profit for the community garden project. So hopefully it could work out for her. So, so yeah. So that is the end of that. Item 9, discussion regarding the Whistleblower Act. So I sent 2 emails to the state's attorney's office specifically asking him if there needed to be somebody here or if his office could serve as that person. I did not hear back. And so I forwarded the email to Trustee Frierson because I had also asked Trustee Frierson if the state's attorney said no, that they really needed to have a local official do it. I asked him if, because he's the police and fire commissioner for the city, if he would be willing to serve as the whistleblower person, and he said that he would be willing to do that, so. Hopefully we'll have that definitive answer and we can just vote on it and have it be done and on the website by the next meeting. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Very cool. Just keep rolling along. Discussion regarding decennial committees on Local Government Efficiency Act. So I'm glad we're just keeping it on the agenda and talking about it every month. The Zion Leaders Group is getting ready to promote on October 15th, having another community-wide meeting on Saturday morning. And I'm curious to have whoever's there or at the community walk this Friday night, just kind of keeping our eyes open. We're looking to have 2 residents serve on this committee. If as you come up with names, if you wouldn't mind just relaying those to me, and if we could vote at the October meeting on who we want to be those 2 representatives.
Is it possible to gauge an interest in the public? I mean, I don't know how we would do that. It's like coming to us.
Well, that's actually really, because what I love about that suggestion is we're not the only ones, right? The Park District, the library, the schools, they all have to have one.
Right.
And so if the leaders together, right, if we all promoted, we're looking for residents that want to be a part of these conversations. Huh.
And I know coming up, the library board will be having some vacancies. How do
Yeah.
people know about it?
Right, right, yeah, a few of them. But that's is that this coming April?
I believe so.
Okay. So we have a full house. We have 12 people in CBLA again this year. So a really, really incredible group. So hopefully we'll get some more interesting ones. But yeah, if you could keep thinking about that. And for those of you that don't know, so this decennial committee, it was a legislative move in Springfield that each government agency, except for the county and municipalities, which doesn't quite make sense to me, but having conversations with our mayor, still wanting to be involved in those conversations about where we can work smarter, where we can collaborate on some things, and fill some gaps and make some changes to make us all more efficient and work better together. So each of the taxing bodies is required to put together a committee. Every 10 years we have to do that. And so I think we have to have the committee in place by June of 23. I would really like to not wait until deadlines and have a really good conversation in a bunch of different areas to see where we could collaborate or work with them together. Cool. Any other thoughts around that? No names yet?
When does the committee have to meet? Once a year? Is it
No,
once a
we just have to meet. I think we have to meet 2 or 3 times, period,
Oh, okay.
in the year, and then it meets again in 10 years. And so I will be very surprised if I'm still here. No, you never know, but I'll be very surprised. I didn't think I'd be here this long, so.
Yeah.
Do you know, in this day and age, do the meetings have to be in person or not?
I don't know if it was that specific in the
I don't-
legislation.
I don't recall that it was.
Yeah.
And I think to your point, I think the meetings have to be held and then a report has to be issued by that June date. So basically, a report on whatever the conclusions of the meeting or meetings, so.
Cool. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
And then we don't have to worry about it probably ever again.
Right. Well,
So.
and I'm actually hoping the opposite, that we actually come up with some things that we would have never thought of if we wouldn't have had the conversation. Instead of it
No,
just
that's true.
being, red tape we gotta jump through. I think we
Right.
could really maximize this opportunity, so. Okay, so item 11, receive and place on file the audit for the year ending April 30th, 2022. Everybody has a hard copy. If anybody else would like a copy, I've got a whole bunch of them. If you need something to read at 2 a.m. And it's just for us to place on file for anyone that would like to see it. And the auditor gave us a clean bill of health again, so grateful for that. And huge kudos to Sandra Usher, our business manager, who does everything she can to make sure every I is dotted and T crossed, so. Okay. And moving on.
We need a vote.
Oh, we vote to
Yes, we have
receive.
to.
Okay, is there a motion to receive and place on file the audit?
I will make that motion.
Second?
Motion second, any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 12, assessors report.
Good evening. We completed our appeal filings on August the 29th, which was 30 days from when we published. And we have a total of, and this is a correction, it's 151 appeals for the 2022 year. And, which is very low, and we're happy about that. We received over half of them on the last day. So we thought we were smooth sailing.
Wow.
I was
What day
really
was that?
looking for less than 100.
When was the last day?
The 29th. And so, yeah, between Sunday night, the 28th, and Monday night, the 29th, at 11:59 p.m., we received over half. Yeah. So, you know, because people like to wait till last day, but it's okay. So we, but that was an extremely low number, so we were just, you know, still blessed. We were just not expecting to get that many on the last day. But we pushed through them, and most of them were due to the equalization that we completed on some neighborhoods, and I think I shared that with you guys a couple of months ago. Due to the large gap in the sales, you know, for the last 3 years, with the values and everything going up, we had to equalize, and we did that to make it less of a shock or an increase next year, which is the quadrennial year. So a lot of, you know, the appeals were due to that, because some people, it's educating factor, and then some people, you know, just wanting to see if there was anything else that could be done. So we, I'm sorry, and that was actually, the range for those were, in the different neighborhoods, were between 3 and 21%, and that's not including the factor. So that just lets you know, with the rising prices and with the current values of some of the homes, there was a huge gap, and unfortunately, you know, it affected a lot of people. But it's not personal. It's, you know, what the market is saying. The only thing we're doing is our job, which is making sure that, you know, we have it in compliance with what we're required to do per statutes. We completed our first 2 days of hearings, and that was on the 13th and the 15th. The majority of those were letters. So you have in-person hearings, you have over the phone hearings, and then you have letter hearings. So the letter hearings, the Board of Review reviews themselves, and we are not present. We don't get to speak, and nor does the appellant. They leave it to the board to decide. And so the majority of the letters that we had, hearings that we had were letters across the board. We did have some in-person and phone hearings on the very first day, and we had one reduction out of those hearings, and it was due to a prior PTAB case. And so now we are concentrating on the upcoming commercial hearings, because usually they leave commercial until last. They do all the residential first, and then commercial hearings will last. So those are the ones that we're concentrating on. I think we have I got a notice today, we got another day of October 7th. So I believe after that, if I'm not mistaken, we should be done. But, you know, don't quote me on that, because I didn't count it to fully validate that. In the community, we attended the annual Mayor's Prayer Breakfast on Labor Day, which was a huge success. So I wanted to just say thanks to Commissioner McDowell and the Ministerial Association for all their efforts. It was really a wonderful time. That was actually, believe it or not, my first time ever attending it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, that was it was a wonderful experience. Also, the Zion Leaders Group met, and we have our first quarterly meeting not first, but have our quarterly meeting scheduled for next month on October the 15th at the Zion Benton Township High School to continue our conversation on solutions and outcomes. And so we just want to encourage everybody to come out and, bring your neighbors, your friends, and any other Zion residents. That's it. That's all I have.
Thank you
Any
very much.
questions?
Any questions? Comments? Kudos?
Kudos.
We should do that, right? Questions, comments, and kudos.
So for the continuing conversation, and maybe it's a question for Supervisor O'Neill, how do we get people more engaged to come? I mean, because even the second meeting was a lower turnout than the first, right? And I think this is another opportunity to possibly see how we can get more people to want to make a comment,
Right.
or give kudos or
Right.
what have you.
Well, we did, the postcards that were mailed out, they're going to be mailed out again. We're also going to be handing them out at the Community Walk Friday night.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a table with all the leaders and a wheel trying to engage people and get them to pre-send questions that they want answered. We're doing a different format this year. We're
Yes.
hoping to have more of a, we're going to be on stools, right? And so just having like conversations with questions and back and forth so that we can be in one group. Just try and I really appreciate, because the group is being very intentional, trying to figure out what's the best way to engage and have real conversation at these. And so, yeah, but the key is getting people to want to come out, right? And so, so
I think
just
that's-
one step at a time. No.
No, I was gonna say, I think that's where, everyone here who has been to it and knows what a benefit it has been and knows the importance of it, we encourage you to, make a plea, make personal invitations to your neighbors, your friends, those that that live in the city that you haven't seen. Hey, I haven't seen you at, one of the meetings, or did you know about this? And just encourage them to come out and be a part of it, because you have not, because you asked not, is my vote.
Very cool. Thank you. Anything else? Okay, moving on to supervisor's report. We have been really busy, and there have been every extreme of mental health issue that we could ever imagine we've been dealing with lately. So trying really hard to just keep everybody, their spirits up, and remind them that we don't know what people are going through when they walk in the door, and just because there have been quite a few times when people need a punching bag, right? And we're kind of glad that we have that window there to protect them from actually, so yeah, very interesting. But we did have a surprise visitor this last couple of weeks. A Zion police officer showed up at our office and brought us donuts to say thank you for the work we're doing. That was the coolest thing ever, so that was fun. General assistance applications have shot up, which to me is wonderful, because that's the one program that we feel like we're making a long-term impact, helping people to either get back into the workforce or on disability if they can't do that. And even when people come in thinking that it's easy money, it's really not, because they have to do things to take steps to look for work and education and meeting with people. And so we appreciate having that opportunity to just encourage people. So and if you look at the report, phone calls, we're up 100 this month from last year, and so it's been quite busy. But I guess they call that job security, right? So just to say again, the Zion Community Walk is this Friday night at 6:00 p.m. We're going to meet at 28th Street and Bethel Boulevard. So we're literally only walking 3 blocks. It's not far at all. You can park at the Zion Central Middle School or at the church park or the picnic shelter parking lot. It's not the Kiwanis one, it's the other one. The one that's right across the street from Central. In that parking lot there, or on-street parking, and then also at Christ Community Church, there will be parking allowed, right? I think I heard that. And so,
They can't, but
Yeah.
nobody asked.
note to self. Okay, I think they were more thinking people would be parking on 28th and, and walking
Sure,
over,
yeah.
but I will make sure that gets covered.
Are there any,
Yeah.
like, gonna be tables like in the past for community members to set up? or not?
What Chief Barden wanted to do this year is more focus on just the community piece to it, not just people being together. He's bringing in, hopefully we're gonna have food trucks in front of where the pool is and Esther's Well. And then the movie will be on, normally we don't do a movie in the park. We've invited the sponsors that are sponsoring the movie in the park if they wanted to have a table. And then I believe he's bringing in a few that are specific to helping with issues that the police department needs to address. But even like each of the different taxing bodies, we decided instead of having separate tables that we would have one table together. So if somebody came up with a question, we can be like, oh, that's him, go down and talk to him. But yeah, just to keep it a little bit less, because we don't know the timing and moving it over to the band shell, we weren't sure how that
Yeah,
would work.
so, I mean, you're all moving towards the movie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and the movie's gonna be Remember the Titans, so we're hoping that it just becomes like just a huge feel-good community night with everybody. So we shall see. And the elite striders are gonna be doing their practice. They're competing on Sunday, so they will be out there doing their warm-up routine. So yeah.
That next day, Saturday, is the food pantry, and we usually go and block off the parking lot and set up the lines on Friday night. Are we not supposed to do that this time?
I don't know.
I didn't know this was coming up, but the food pantry Saturday morning, and we always go over at 6 on Friday. And, barricade across both ends of the parking lot, and then we put the lines for the cars to line up in,
Okay.
cones and stuff for that.
Food
So I
pantries.
need to know that in the next day or so.
Gotcha.
we can
Okay.
change our plan.
I'll pass that on. I'll have Eric Bradley get a hold of you about that too.
Okay.
Perfect. Good. Any other issues coming up? Okay. And just a shout out to Bottom Line Innovations, one of the landlords in town, Zion Benton Township High School, North Shore Gas, Penny Slots, and Cancer Treatment Centers of America, City of Hope. They are all the sponsors for us to be able to have these movies in the park this year. So we're doing a movie every Friday night in September, and if we have a rain date, it will be the first Friday in October. So huge success. And talking about the sponsors, but it's sponsored by the Coalition for Healthy Communities, who purchased the blow-up screen. And then we have been graced with Christ Community Church's projector and Ed Spoor. Ed is over the top helping us make it like, how do we make it brighter? He made a little table to make sure it sits on, and he does it. Ed Spoor helps run the American Legion food truck for each of these events, but the guy, he deserves like the biggest
everything.
award. He really does.
Yeah.
He doesn't even blink. I mean, he just like, what's next? Let's do it. And so, yeah, one of a kind. And so, very cool. So thank you to CCC though for donating letting us use the projector, so.
Well, that piece of it's nothing. Letting you use Ed is
Right?
huge. That's huge.
I don't think at 7 o'clock at night, you're letting us use it. But he is tapping into all of your
Ed
stuff.
sleeps there.
Right?
Yeah, he sleeps there.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. Also the Zion Quarterly will be out, it'll be mailed out October 3rd. So everybody should have that. That will also have the information about the event for October 15th. So between that, the mailer, the sign up, all of the Facebook stuff we're doing, hopefully we can hang on. So I can't say this one yet, so scratch out the one that says donations are being accepted for the Zion Historical Society to help reclaim Esther's Well. It has not been officially approved yet, and so I did this I turned in this board report before we knew that
Well, I
it wasn't gonna
mean-
be on the agenda.
I did say that, because we were delayed a month, maybe we could do some soft fundraising, so I think we can probably accept some donations.
Okay, cool. Awesome, that would be wonderful. So if you don't know about that project, stay tuned because our trustee / Pastor McDowell has been very engaged in getting the best price, the best design for us to reclaim Esther's Well. And so it'll be a very cool thing.
Yeah, I think the price tag's coming in about 50,000.
That's perfect.
So it's,
Wow.
the estimate right now is just under 45, but by the time we actually begin work, the
Right.
prices are gonna go up. So
Right.
I think setting a fundraising goal of 50,000 is reasonable.
That works. Excellent.
The day that we had that meeting, the price of cement went up $30 a yard.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so.
Well, but it could go down by the time we do it. I am a
What?
Pollyanna. Okay, so heads up with everybody. So just a reminder, any senior women wishing to join the Queen Bees of Zion Red Hat Society, call the Township. We do a monthly trip. We have a blast, and we'd love to have more involved with that. The Elf Network is kicked off. If you have a family in need of assistance over that Christmas holidays, have them reach out to Zion Township, and we will put them on that list. I think we're gonna have 80 families again, so we'll be reaching out to you guys to confirm what the official plan is. So it's another partnership we have with Christ Community Church to do just an amazing blessing for the families, so it's very cool.
Yeah, the plan is to have a dinner.
Okay, but with 80 families? We did the dinner with 40
We'll talk.
families. We better talk. Sounds good. And then, like I said earlier, kudos to our chairwoman, Colette Davis, for the Zion Benton Leadership Academy. We have 12 just incredible people in the program again this year. Last night was session 2. We have 3 more sessions, and then graduation will be the first Saturday in November. So really excited. And the group is doing a group project. You want to share a little bit about that?
Yes, so they are going to do a group project that will be a volunteer fair where they will have different organizations throughout Lake County that provide services and that are looking for volunteers, students and adults, to come out and share their information and let the community know what volunteer opportunities they have. And one of the things that we're doing is pairing that fair up with the time that the junior CVLA session is, class is in session, so that they can participate as well and encourage, other students who may be looking for credit hours or just looking for constructive opportunity to volunteer to participate as well. So we don't have a date solidified yet, but we know it's gonna be March, April-ish. No, February, March-ish.
New information.
Right. Had to think about that. So February, March time, it would be, on a Saturday, but more to come with that.
Awesome. Thank you. And then last but not least, I've been asked to present at the Cook County Supervisors meeting in regards to the efficiency study that we did. They're really curious about why we did this so far ahead of the game before we were forced to do it, and it'll be fun to be able to share with them that it wasn't to be defensive, it was to actually be good public servants, so, and to deal with Trustee McDowell. No. It was a good dealings.